I'm often asked if anxiety can cause brain fog. So welcome back to our channel. My name is Jennifer Roblin and I am an anxiety specialist and therapist. So have you ever had a time in your life where you have forgotten someone's name as they walk towards you? Or you have gone into the bedroom or the bathroom to get something only to realise that you've forgotten what it was that you needed? Perhaps you've gone to sit a test or present a talk and your mind just goes blank. Maybe you've even woken up ready to take on the day, but as you sit down to work, you find your thoughts are scattered and your focus is slipping away. The more you try to push through, the worse it gets. Sounds familiar? If you're anything like me, brain fog can be very, very frustrating. And anxiety can be one of its main culprits. So in today's video, I wanted to offer you 9 top tips for overcoming anxiety-related brain fog, because I'm getting quite a few people asking about the connection. So you most likely already know that anxiety is a response to stress, and if left unaddressed, it can lead to burnout and depression. When anxiety becomes chronic or overwhelming, it can lead to a range of cognitive symptoms. That's what we call brain symptoms, including brain fog. And this mental fog can leave us feeling frustrated, drained, and even hopeless. So what can we do about it? Let's explore the top tips to combat anxiety-induced brain fog and regain control of our minds again. But before I do this, I'd ask that you stick around till the end of this video because I have something to offer you that I really hope will be able to help you. I'd also appreciate if you could go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel because that helps me reach more and more people and get the message out that nobody needs to be struggling with anxiety. So let's jump straight back into understanding what causes brain fog to happen. Well, firstly, we need to know a little bit about the anxiety that is causing the brain fog in the first place. Now, anxiety is the fear of something that we perceive will happen in the future. The fear tends to relate to something we have either experienced in our past and we're fearful that it will happen again, or something that has not yet happened, but we fear the worst will happen in the future. Now, anxiety is instinctive and it's evolutionary. And when we feel anxious, our body goes into the fight or flight response. This is actually a good thing because it keeps us safe. In fact, if it wasn't for anxiety, we would likely not have survived as a species. But what does anxiety do? It keeps us hypervigilant to danger, and it stopped our ancestors being wiped out by saber-toothed tigers. Anxiety and the fight and flight response is triggered in our amygdala, which is some small almond-shaped cells on both sides, our left and right hemisphere in our brain. It's at the base of our brain. Now, it forms part of our limbic brain and is responsible for regulating all of our emotions. You can think of your amygdala a bit like your body's smoke alarm. It is constantly on standby to keep us safe and out of danger. If our early ancestors were to see a movement in the bushes, the fight and flight response would fire up and prepare them to run away from the imminent danger. This then activates the sympathetic nervous system and releases the stress hormones cortisol and adrenaline. Now, this served us really, really well when we were all living in caves and we were constantly under threat of dangerous animals and famines. We absolutely needed to constantly be hypervigilant and hyperstimulated to avoid danger. Nowadays, we don't have the same threats, but our brains have been unable to adapt us quickly to our ever-changing world. So if we have an argument with our partner, or we get stuck in traffic, or have to meet a tight deadline with work, our brains continue to be triggered as if the threat is real to our survival. So when we go into fight and flight response, if we are maybe cut up in traffic or check our inboxes, or we notice that the boss is approaching us, our bodies instinctively prepare us to run away or fight back and get to safety. Our anxious smoke alarm is triggered. We would then feel our heart rate increase and we would breathe faster. This is so that we could deliver as much oxygen as possible to our muscles and our organs. We may find that we start to sweat and blush as blood vessels dilate to allow more blood flow, and we may feel cramps and tension in our muscles. We may have a feeling of nausea, that feeling in your tummy, because your digestive system shuts down, as we don't need to waste energy digesting food at this point. Our cortex, the smart part of our brain that is responsible for higher functioning, problem solving and logic, it just shuts down. Because let's face it, we don't need to know how to do algebra or recite the alphabet backwards if we're about to be eaten by a tiger, right? So this is when you may notice brain fog appearing. As soon as we feel safe and we're relaxed again, the cortex reactivates and we go back to homeostasis and being able to think clearly again. But if we are struggling with anxiety on a regular basis, then we are likely to have multiple fearful thoughts constantly, and anxiety is most likely to affect our everyday lives. We are in a constant state of fight and flight, looking around us for danger, and this is just absolutely exhausting. Our brain shuts down as a protective response to keep us safe when our sympathetic nervous system is overloaded. Now, initially, numbing our emotions may be helpful as it helps calm our overwhelmed minds. However, over time, it can be harmful and lead to behaviours that impact our emotional and physical well-being, such as avoiding situations that scare us. And therefore, what we do by that is we perpetuate the problem and make it even bigger. Now, I've been there. When I used to feel constantly anxious, I would end up feeling so overwhelmed that I felt as if I was never able to achieve anything. My brain fog would appear to be constant, and I would just procrastinate and put off whatever it was I was meant to be doing. This caused me so much more anxiety in the long run. So you may be wondering, how do you know if you have brain fog? Well, brain fog is that feeling where you don't mentally feel yourself, and it affects how we think, remember, and concentrate. It can make doing ordinary tasks challenging, and we may find it hard to concentrate and focus on simple everyday tasks and responsibilities, and we may lose our train of thought in the middle of a conversation. It's usually only temporary, but the length of time you'll experience brain fog can vary from person to person and depending on the situation that's triggered it. Just like anxiety, the feelings can come and go in waves. They can occur infrequently or persistently, and they can happen at any age. It can range in intensity from slight to moderate to severe at times. Now, brain fog is not a medical condition. It is a symptom of other conditions. So it's the outcome of feeling anxious and being in your fight and flight in this case. It may interfere with school, work, home life, and it can be so frustrating, but it can be overcome once you understand the underlying cause. Now, when we experience short-term memory loss or we have difficulty concentrating, It is not uncommon for someone already struggling with anxiety to feel even more anxious. They may believe that they are on the verge of a mental breakdown or that the brain fog is indicative of something more serious. Now, understandably, this additional anxiety will release even more stress hormones, making the symptoms even worse. So, we've really got to learn how to calm our bodies down so that our logical brain can perform at its best. Now, if you're finding this video helpful, then please do remember to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you're notified every time we release a new video. So, firstly, we need to be able to remind ourselves that we are not in danger. At this very moment, we are safe. The chances are we're worrying about something that hasn't yet happened, or we're ruminating over something that's already happened in the past. Now, we all know we can't change the past and we can't predict the future. So we're causing ourselves to worry about the same situation over and over and over again. Now, I always had a mantra when I was at the worst of my anxiety. And mantra is just a phrase that you repeat over and over again. I used to say to myself all the time, right now, Jen, you're safe. You're in a safe place right now. And I would have repeated that over and over and over again. I was subconsciously telling my brain that it was okay to stop scanning everywhere for danger. I didn't know about mantras back then, but repeating the same phrase over and over used to help me feel calmer. So try it. Tip number 2, get moving. Engaging in regular physical exercise has proven benefits for both our mental and our physical well-being. When we exercise, our body releases endorphins, which are our natural mood-boosting chemicals that can alleviate anxiety and improve cognitive function. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, such as brisk walking, jogging, cycling, or dancing around your kitchen, and try and do it most days of the week. Not only will it help clear away the brain fog, but it will also enhance your overall sense of well-being. Now, I always prefer to exercise outside because I find it really, really relaxing and calming being out in nature. But if your answer is to go to the gym, it's whatever works best for you. It's more important to just do it, just exercise, just get moving. So whatever you can do, even if it's just some gentle stretching exercises that you can do in your living room, do what you can to help yourself relieve the tension that's stored in your muscles and let your body know you are safe. Tip number 3. We need to be able to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, as this is the opposite to our fight and flight response. We call this the rest and digest response. We can do this by calming our breathing down, as it sends a message to our brain that we're safe right now. Now, there are many, many breathing techniques on my channel, on my YouTube channel, so feel free to try some others too. But today we're just going to focus on what we call square breathing here. So I want you to breathe in for the count of 4, hold your breath for the count of 4, breathe out for the count of 4, and hold your breath for the count of 4. And then we're going to do it all over again. So I'd really like if you can try it with me. So let's do this together. So let's breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and again, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. And just let your breathing go back to normal. But notice how your body feels, how it feels different, how it feels calmer and more grounded. So breathing techniques are a really great way of letting your body know that you're safe. After all, if we were in danger and we were running away or needing to fight something, we wouldn't be holding our breath in that calm way and extending our breath. Another tip that you can use is with breathing. Often we believe that we can't take a breath in when we're in a panicked situation. But the reality is that we don't take a big enough breath out. So if you can, always try and breathe out for slightly longer than you breathe in. So deep breathing exercises, I think of it as like sending love letters to your body. It offers comfort in times of stress and anxiety, and it sends the message that you don't need to run fast, you can relax. And it just takes a little while for your body to get the memo and realise that you're actually safe. Tip number 4, this is really important. Prioritise your sleep. We should aim to be getting about 8 hours of sleep each night, as this is when the brain and the body clears out all the toxins and it regenerates us. It's restorative. If you're struggling to get to sleep in the first place, try listening to some relaxation music or white noise. Tip number 5, watch what you eat. A healthy diet including olive oil, fruits, veg, nuts, fish, beans and whole grains has been proven to improve thinking, memory and brain health. Do remember to avoid alcohol and coffee as they both trigger anxiety, and stay hydrated by drinking lots of water. Tip number 6, relax. Now, how do you like to relax? Maybe it's a massage, a hot bath, reading a book, watching a bit of television, being mindful and meditating, or spending time with a pet. Focus on anything that you find relaxing and not overstimulating, as again, you're sending a message to your body that you're safe. Tip number 7, become aware of your thoughts without judgment. Challenge negative thinking patterns and replace them with more positive and realistic thoughts. You can use the Anxious Thoughts Diary and the Cognitive Distortions workbook to help you. Both are listed in the description and they're free to download. Tip number 8. To help you with brain fog, I suggest you download the workbook to overcome procrastination, as this will help you to establish what is most urgent and what is most important, and therefore what you don't need on your priority list. Again, I've popped a link in the description. The most popular of all my workbooks is the Circle of Control and Influence, and this workbook is designed to help you take back control of your anxiety and appreciate that you actually have more influence over a situation than we may initially believe. Now, while these workbooks cannot eliminate anxiety completely, they do go a long way to aiding you on your journey, and you can work through them at your own pace. Please do share your top tips in the comments below, as I'd love to hear what works best for you when you're feeling anxious and are struggling with brain fog. So there you have it. Anxiety-induced brain fog may seem like an overwhelming challenge, but when we're armed with all the powerful tips, you can take back control of your mind and experience the clarity that you deserve. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, and with the right tools and support, you can overcome anxiety-induced brain fog. Now, I really hope you found that helpful. If you have, I will ask you again, please do like and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button, because I'd like as many people to know as possible that they really do not need to be struggling with anxiety on an ongoing basis. If you do need to speak to someone about getting to the root cause of your anxiety, then there's a link in the comments. You can reach out, get in touch, and I can see how I can best help you. Now, I really hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to speaking to you soon again. Until next time, bye for now.